This is your sign to be yourself. Set yourself free. Because we're not going to live our lives confined anymore. This is crippling us. I'm going to share an experience with you. When I was a very little kid, probably 5, 7 years old, that's when it started, I had severe eczema. And I'm talking, it was covering most of my body, red, pink, itchy, scratchy, and I'm getting blood and skin all over my desk in school. And at that age, all of my peers, my other classmates, they thought it was gross because this kid's bleeding it all the time. So because of that, they didn't want to be my friends. And right there at that age, I learned and internalized there's something wrong with me. How I am right now is not good enough. Therefore, I must change myself to be enough. So what did I do? I started misbehaving to make the whole class laugh because that was my way of gaining their validation. That was my way of, okay, I'm not good enough as I am, but maybe if I start acting out and getting everyone to laugh, then I can be good enough. And this mindset really engraved into my mind. It stuck with me for a long time in my life until I recently really started healing from it. And this really affected my life. I've had so much social anxiety when talking to people. I just felt like I needed to say the right things to make them like me, because if someone didn't like me, it would hurt me so much. I would feel so empty and shameful. But what is it like when you're just being yourself, authentically, unapologetically being yourself? What is that like? You don't care if someone doesn't like you, someone likes you. It doesn't matter because you're just you. You know, in this social anxiety of just in every conversation, man, it was exhausting. It was exhausting. Every conversation, I felt like I had to act a certain way. I had to hold up a sort of facade. It was so tiring. It's suffering. It is straight up suffering. And until I realized that this trauma happened to me and started working through it and learning how I can start feeling good enough, how I can start unapologetically being myself, once I started entering that inner journey to become that's when it started feeling so much better. So I'm going to share 5 things that have helped me just be myself. And I'm still growing. But oh my God, I feel so much more free. It's ridiculous. So the first thing that has helped me is realizing this facade that I've put up to try to get people to like me. This is like a cocoon. Now, what do I mean? A cocoon keeps you safe, right? From all the dangers from the outside world. The cocoon keeps you locked up. Nothing can reach you. But what does it also do? It imprisons you. Not only does the cocoon keep you safe, but it also keeps you imprisoned. This is what the facade is. When you're trying to act a certain way to make someone like you, it's keeping you safe in a way, because I need them to like me to feel better about myself. And being free, being myself, that's dangerous. I don't want to do that. What if they don't like me? So I'm going to play it safe and put on this front. All right? Yes, it's keeping us safe in that way. But is it really keeping us safe? Because in reality, it's imprisoning us. Now we can't be free. Freedom feels amazing. Freedom is, I'm not locked in a cocoon. I am out here and free. And now that I'm out here and free, yes, I am more exposed to danger. But I am free, right? And it's really not danger. The real danger is staying stuck in a cocoon, because that is suffering. That feels terrible. We're trapped in this thing. I can't ever be myself. It's crippling. It's suffering. It's an illness. It eats us up. It feels horrible. Boom! Break out of it. It's worth not being liked. It's worth not being validated sometimes, because ultimately you get to just be free. And really, you're the one who gets to decide if their opinion on you matters. An opinion is literally just a thought. It's not fact. Everyone in the world will have a different opinion of you. How are you supposed to decide who has the correct opinion? No one's opinion on you is true. Even your own opinion on you isn't true. They're just thoughts. So it's not even really danger to put yourself out there. So if someone invalidates you, that's their own world. That has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And number 2, this is a practical thing we can just do right now. When we are in a conversation, focus solely on feeling free. Don't focus on what can I say to make them like me, because it's not about that. It was never about how do I make them like you, and it was always about how can I feel free in this moment. How can you feel free in this moment? By no longer altering your words and actions to change how they will perceive you. We're no longer trying to alter anyone else's perceptions of us, and we're solely just focusing on feeling free in this moment. If we're talking to someone we're attracted to, it's not, how can I make them attracted to me? What can I say? What can I do that will make them like me? No, it's not that. What we're actually doing instead is, how can I just feel free in this moment? That is healing. That is growing. In a conversation with someone who you are very attracted to, instead of focusing on how can I make them attracted to me, just focus on how can I just feel free in this moment? How can I not suffer during this conversation? Because when we try to make someone like us, we are causing ourselves to suffer. Okay? And ironically, when you're just being free and being yourself, you're going to be more attractive, but that's not the point at all. And if we're thinking about it in that way, oh, I'm going to be myself to make them more attracted to me, it defeats the whole purpose of it. Because now you're suffering again. Now you have this outcome of making them attracted to me. We're not focusing on that at all. And we're just focusing on being free. Okay? And number 3 is realize that you are actually good enough. Okay? Because here's the thing. Why are we afraid to be ourselves? Because we think who we are is not good enough. We think we're not okay as we are right now. That's not enough. That's not okay. Therefore, I must change myself. But what if we already felt good enough? Then we won't feel the need to change. We can just be free. Okay? I made a whole video. My whole channel's about how to feel good enough, honestly. But this is a great video to watch. I recommend it. Or maybe I put it on that side. Oops, I don't know. But one thing I will share that I did say in that video is, one way to know for a fact that you are good enough is realizing that nature is good enough. And you are a piece of nature. And here's what I mean. You see this tree right here? All these trees? Do they have branches growing in the wrong direction? Are the clouds, and are any of the clouds shaped wrong? Are any flowers the wrong color? Are any galaxies have stars in the wrong order? Is there anything wrong out there in nature? Is any of it created imperfectly? No, of course not. In the same way that there are no trees that are shaped wrong, there are no people that are shaped wrong. You are just as much nature as the tree and the clouds and the ducks and the pond, everything. You are just as much nature as all of that is. And because all of that is good enough, you are good enough too. And I share a lot of other things of how to feel good enough in that video. And number 4 is realizing that it's only worth being friends with people who like the real you. Let's say we hold up this facade and we pretend to be a certain way to get people to like us. And let's say that succeeds. Let's say we do get people to like us. Now guess what? We have to keep holding this thing up. We have to keep pretending. And those people who like the fake you are not worth being friends with. Because to be in a friendship like that is exhausting. Because we have to put in all this effort to keep making people like us. But when we allow ourselves to just be us, the real us, we naturally attract the people who like the real us. So if we're out here so worried about making friends, I gotta act a certain way so I can make friends and make people like me, we don't even realize if we actually just stopped doing that and just allowed ourselves to naturally just be, then we would start making the good kind of friends, the kind of friends who just actually love you for just who you are. Okay? And I have struggled with friends in my life, you know? And it wasn't until these past couple years where I started making real friends who actually just love the real me. Because I started just being the real me. And number 5, it comes from a common question people ask. How can I be myself if I don't even know who I am? Who am I? How am I supposed to be I don't even know who I am. My answer to this is, it is impossible to describe with words who you are. Let me think of a label and say, oh, that's me. I have a piece of news, okay? You are not an aesthetic, okay? Oh, I have to fit this aesthetic. I have to dress this way. I have to talk this way because I identify with this aesthetic. No, you're not an aesthetic. You are undefinable. An aesthetic is so limited. It puts you in a box. Who you are cannot be put in a box. Also, words are a box. If you try to describe who you are with words, it's automatically false because words are limited. Words cannot describe the vastness and complexity of you. Okay? So let's stop trying to label it and say, okay, once I figure out the label, the aesthetic that I am, then I can start acting that way and now I know who I am. That's a bunch of baloney. Okay? Because none of that stuff can define you. So then how do you be you? First, stop trying to be a certain way or fit a certain vibe. And second, allow your naturalness to just come through. How you feel in this moment is you. Your thoughts in this moment is you. And guess what? An hour from now, you're gonna have different feelings and different thoughts, and now those thoughts are you. Who you are is this moment. And it's undefinable. When you just be and allow yourself to just exist and allow all the feelings to just exist and your natural actions and words and all of this stuff to just naturally flow, that's you. That flow in of itself is you. And it doesn't need to be labeled. You don't need to know what that is and then start behaving in that way intentionally. It shouldn't feel intentional at all. It should just feel totally natural. Being yourself takes 0 effort. And trying to be a certain way takes tons of effort. That's why it's exhausting, okay? It's kind of like the breath. When you imagine you inhale and you just hold it. How does that feel? It feels horrible. It's exhausting. How does it feel to exhale? It's effortless. You don't even have to blow your air out. It just comes out naturally. That is you. You are the exhale. You just come out naturally. Trying to hold up a thing that's holding in your breath. I'm holding up a facade. I'm trying to act a certain way. I'm holding my breath. Oh my God, the tension, it's horrible. But when you just, let your breath just, then that's naturally you. And you don't have to try to be a certain way to make it fit that. That's just you. All right? I love you. And you are good enough. Duh. Obviously, you're good enough. We all are. We're all pieces of nature, okay? So I hope this video is helpful. This stuff really helped me a lot. And if you want to help me out, drop a comment down. The comments help boost up this video, push the video out to more people. And also please like and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day. Peace.